Hello and welcome back to another episode of, well, actually, first episode of Roblox British Railways. My name is Wizzy, you can also call me Wizzy, and today we are driving some more trains on Roblox. But like I said, not Stepford County Railway, but British Railway. Now we're gonna get into Drive, and I have been playing this quite a bit. I do own all of the trains now, so if I actually go back and go to shop, and go to trains, you can see there's nothing for me to buy here. The routes, I already have all the routes. The liveries, I still have quite a few liveries I gotta buy. But that's basically it. So, yeah, and then they have a featured train. I already have this one, or livery, basically. So yeah, and the next one will be in just over a day. So, yeah. Anyways, we are going to get into Drive. I'm going to drive the 170, and I have all of the liveries for this. There's a 170 and a 171. 171, when you buy the 170, already has all the liveries, which there's really only one, just different variants of the train. But like I said, we'll do the 170, and I'm going to do the Northern. I think, because basically what you can do is, obviously your building consists, so I could choose like a 153, a 142, but basically you can't have any more than 3 trains, because if I do one more, you'll see here too many units. So you can only do 3 units, basically, and like the 170 here, this one is a this one's actually a 3-coach one, but if I go to something like, let's say the 220, actually I don't think it, 4-car, yeah. So I could do the 220, too long, interesting. Maybe that's not the best example. 350, I do like this one. It's a 4-coach one here. I could do 3 of these, and you can see it's 12 coaches long, and that's basically the longest you can do. And of course the shortest one that you can do, if we go up, it's the 153, and as you can see here, it's a 1-car, 1-coach train. So that's the shortest you can do, and then the longest is 12. And you can do the most 3 units. But anyways, or you can go to locomotives. There's a couple locomotives, 65, or 90, and they have coaches. This one, which doesn't really count as a loco, which is, even though it looks like a loco, I don't know. Don't question it. And then they have the coaches, which you get automatically for free. You do have to purchase the coaches or the locos though, and you have to have 1 loco at each end. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, we're gonna get into the 170 Northern. I think we'll just do 1 coach or 1 unit for now. It's a 3-coach train, and you can actually save consist or load consist, but I don't have any that I've saved. But anyways, so we'll continue. And then you have like a map over here. And if I click on one of these, there's different types of routes you can do. You got regional, semi-fast, empty, and you also have, if we go back, intercity. IC, intercity trains. But like I said, 170 Northern 3-coach train, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Millbridge. We're going to start Millbridge Sidings, and it will show you a preview over here. Like you can see, like this one goes here, and you have just different routes you can do. But we're going to start Millbridge Sidings to Millbridge. So we're going to spawn the train. And actually get to driving, so which is what we're here for. This one does not have a pantograph. I'm gonna just check the map here really quick. No trains coming in. You can actually see trains on here, like right there. And if I hover over them, you can see they're doing semi-fast service to Ashdean. And their next station is Leeton, which they're currently at. And they're an 802 train. And you can see here me, ECS movement to Millbridge. It's empty, 170. But anyways, we'll get moving. Some trains do have combined throttles like this. And some trains have a throttle and a brake. Although in the settings you can actually change it to like a simplified throttle. Which is basically like this for those trains that have a separate brake and throttle. But I usually drive with those anyways. Now, with this game, there are penalties for certain things. Like if you're going at least 5 over, you'll get penalized 1 point each time. There'll be like a bar up here. And if that runs down, you'll lose a point. You basically lose 1 point if you ignore the AWS. You lose 3 points for skipping a station. And you lose, or is it 1 point you lose for skipping a station? It might be 1 point for skipping a station. I don't remember, but... And then I think it's 3 points if you spad. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. Like if you overshoot a platform or a station, and we'll pass the sign, but that's fine. If you overshoot the station, depending on how bad you overshoot, it basically won't let you stop there. And when you're finished your route, as you can see, you get to choose from here. You can either return a menu or you can choose to do a different route from here. And then this is your, basically, what you earn for coins, your score, and this is like a breakdown. So yes, stopped at stations. I didn't really stop at any stations on the way here, so that's 0. Completed the route for 20 coin or points, which are basically coin. I don't know. Then you have the deductions down here. But anyways, we're gonna go to Avonhill. We're gonna do. So Avonhill's up here. This one's 1 minute longer than this one. But you get 7 more coins doing this, and it's basically 1 more station. You know what, we'll just do this one. I mean, I could do this one. It's even fewer. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. You know, we'll do this one, the regional. 32-minute regional. So we'll start. And so this is what this train looks like. And you can, one neat thing is you can, if I press V, it'll change which car coach you're focused on. So now I'm focused on this back one. And if I go into the cab view and I press V, it'll go to the rear cab. And then I can also press 3 and I can go into basically passenger cameras and press V to cycle through those. Now, as one might notice, something might look wrong in a way. You can see it's 9 p.m. basically UK time, which, I mean, this is a UK train game. It's a British rails. I mean, it's in the name of the game. Or railways. But it's daytime. And that is because I'll show you when we get to the next station. There's settings up here you can change. and you can change it to whatever time you want, or you can have it the daylight cycle. And you can change the weather, you can change the fog. There's a whole bunch of other settings you can do.
We will shortly be arriving at Northgate. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform edge.
So we're going to be stopping at the 3-car marker. Okay, so now that we're stopped, oh, and as you can tell, there are passengers that will actually get on your train, which is pretty cool. So you can see they actually walk on, get to their seats, and everything like that. But if I press T, like if this counts down and press T and there are passengers that aren't on yet, they'll just disappear. Even if they're walking in the train and they haven't got to their seat yet, they'll disappear. But let's look at the settings really quick. So you can see graphics optimization. You can either choose daylight cycle or whatever time of day. Passenger detail, you can change that. So 1 mile to the next station. Camera stuff, audio stuff. Detailed presence, which I'm pretty sure if we go over to here, like if I click on it, well, it's not working in this one, but you can see basically what train they're driving, what route they're doing, and everything like that. Kind of like if you hover over someone on the map. But that doesn't always work, and then you have some other options up here. And if I click on this, it will expand, and you can actually drag this up as well, and that shows you your schedule. Yeah, I'll do the emergency brake. Probably end up stopping short of that now that I did the emergency brake, but well, maybe not. No, we overshot it. That's fine. You don't get penalized for using the emergency brake. Now, of course, you could click on these. And one thing you can actually do as well is you can drag this for the throttle. Or you can actually interact with it here as well. Like you can do that. And there's like door buttons you can use to open the doors and everything like that here as well. Emergency brake there. AWS is here somewhere. Right there. And you can see the speedometer actually works here as well. And that's the speed limit one there, the red needle. Sometimes those horn signs are so far back, so I'll wait until I get a little bit closer to do the horn. And sometimes for the crossings like this, they don't even have the signs for it. But I'll always use it anyways. Good stop. Now one thing you can do too is you can actually turn the lights off and on, and then you have the interior lights that you can actually turn on and off. And you actually have wipers that you can use as well. You can press Z for that, or you can press that button, or I think there's like a wiper switch somewhere as well. But and then the horn, you press H for the high and B for the low.
Avonhill, calling at Henley Park.
So you could do like low high
Belmont Green,
or the high low like I've been doing. Like that.
and Avonhill.
Of course you could press them here as well. These are the cameras, like that one shifts between the cameras. This one changes the camera. Then this is a guard thing, like if someone's guarding you, you can do that to acknowledge them. And this, I think, is sand. In case you lose traction, like if it's raining really heavy or whatever. So of course, SCR, Stepford County Railway, it's more like a cruise control system with the speed, whereas this one is like an actual like train game where you have the throttle that you actually have to do.
We will shortly be arriving at Henley Park.
But I think that's pretty much everything that I can think of right now. Yeah, you can either toggle this on and off so it does this. I usually leave it on, although sometimes it doesn't even show, like there's a couple stations where it doesn't even pop up, or some stations where it does the wrong one. Like it'll do the S, like if it's a single platform station, it'll do the S at the wrong end. Well, even if it's a double, there's one double platform station like this where it will do the S at the beginning of the platform. It's like, no, that's not right. So there's one station we'll be passing. That's the one that we could have stopped at for the other regional route. And of course, this shows the estimated arrival time for the next station.
Welcome on board this regional service to Avonhill. The next station is Leeton.
Looks like no one else is coming into Leeton. This is kind of like a choke point on this map because every route base pretty much goes into there, unless they're doing regionals just up here. Yeah, so you can see the bar up there when I was going a little bit too fast. And it's going to pop up again here in a moment.
Norrington and
Well, no,
Victoria
because I'm
Docks.
under 5 over. Now, unlike SCR where I do actually go to 45 on single yellow, I don't really worry about it too much on this one unless there actually is traffic in front of me. Because there's some spots, like if I look at the map here, you can see most of the stuff is red, except for green here. But it will automatically change to like yellow or whatever when you come into the station or whatever, or get closer to that signal. So you'll have yellows leading up to it, or other sections like up through here where you'll constantly get yellows, but then it'll be green because there's nobody there at the station. Now the one that I usually have to look out for is Belmont Green here, because it's hard to tell here unless you're hovering over or putting your mouse around here, and then it pops up like that. Because there's a signal that's really short after another one here, and I tend to spat a lot there, but yeah, I think my signal, well no, they're probably going to come into this platform, so my signal shouldn't turn red. Although you think that, and sometimes it does. It will be red for what seems like no reason. Yeah, see it turned red, and he's probably going to pull into this platform over here. Or they, yeah, they do stop here.
Woodham, Belmont Green, Roton, Fleetwood, Thornfield, Union Street, and Avonhill.
Even though there's absolutely no reason for this to turn red. Just the signals on this game aren't the best either. And now it turned green because he passed the... I don't know what he passed that caused it to turn yellow again, but... doesn't exactly make sense. I'm just doing this to see if there's anybody here, which obviously there isn't, but... I don't think there's any sidings that can come into from here, so... I always do that coming out of this station. I tend to go too fast right away. So what I'm going to do is once we get to our destination, so this is a station that we're passing, if we look here. So once we get to our destination, I'm going to, because Millbridge is where we started, we're going to Avonhill, or Avonhill. And once we get to Avonhill, I'm just going to go right back to Millbridge, and that will pretty much be it for this video. So, because this is like a 30-minute route, and as is, we're going to be well over 30 minutes into the video once we get to Avonhill. I mean, we're at almost 24 minutes right now. So what I might do on the route back is if there's a semi-fast, I'll choose that. Now some of the routes that you have, they're not always going to be available. Like sometimes you'll have, that other train was an intercity train going to Cuffley, which if we look at the map, zoom out slowly, Cuffley is down this way. So you can do Cuffley up to Avonhill, but they're doing the other direction. Sometimes if you go to Avonhill, you can't go back to Cuffley with intercity. Even though you just came from there as intercity. Now of course part of the reason why I knew they were intercity is the color. So yellow on the map here means they're inner city, and you can see inner city service to Cuffley. I am blue, which is regional service, the Semifast. So regional. The gray ones, like we saw me at the beginning, is the ECS. So as you're picking the route, you can see the colors of the different services. And of course it corresponds to the same thing on the map there. So no one up here. Yeah, after this signal, there's another signal. Actually, is there another signal after this one? Yeah. Yeah, basically 0.19 miles to here, and
We will shortly be arriving at.
sometimes you don't get stopped in time to not spat at this signal if there's someone up here. Unless you know in advance, like looking at the map and seeing that there's someone here, or you've been following someone. Now the passengers do vary a little bit each server you're in, which is kind of cool. They vary it up. Or at least the looks of them. Some of them, like this guy, I think they always have. That guy they always have. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stations after this one. Expected at Avonhill at 22:01. So 14, well, just about 13 minutes from now. So yeah, we'll be at 40 minutes in the video when we get to there. And the semi-fast that we saw before, like I said, may not necessarily be the same sort of semi-fast. If they have one returning to Millbridge, that is. At least that one was about 25 minutes, so. Now, of course, because it doesn't make as many stops, you don't get as many coins or points. And if you're doing the ECS, which you can do from Millbridge to Avonhill, and I don't know if you can do it the other way around.
Next station is
But if you can, obviously that's going to give you the least amount of coins. The longer the route, the more stops, well, not necessarily the more stops you make. Inner cities, of course, give you a good amount of points and coins, even though you make less stops. But there are some regional routes, or semi-regional routes, or semi-fast rather, that will pay out more in inner cities. Generally because they're a bit longer routes.
We will shortly be arriving at Bruton.
Now once we get stopped here, I'll show the map one more time and show the other areas of this map. Now it's not, I would say it might actually be a little bit smaller than SCR. Not as many branches. Definitely not as many services. Or the way they have the services are set up a little bit differently here. Like I said, there's some pros and cons to each one, or each game rather. So let's bring up the map. So this branch basically can spawn here and go up here, but you can't go back down here. That might be a future extension. Now a lot of the stuff here, except for here, this is basically a terminating station. Like down here, tracks continue on, but you can't actually go further. There's a lot of other spurs, but like here, you have like a loop here, kind of. This is a one-way loop here, like that. Then you have a section there. You got a section here, small spur there, and then a section up to here. And that's it. Basically, you got this section. And you can basically stop at stations in between or terminate at stations in between. Like you could terminate at Leeton or Belmont Green back here, or even Fleetwood, or down here you could terminate at Norrington.
Service to Avonhill. The next station is Fleetwood.
And of course the selection of trains aren't as big on this one either. The liveries, of course, that's one thing that's different too for this game. The other one, you just have the liveries based on the operator you're doing, or service, whatever. This one, you can choose whatever livery. You can choose the consistency, or the makeup of the train, basically, and stuff like that. Have a little bit more freedom that way. But like I just said, both games have their pros and both games have their cons. Maximum server size on this game is 30, whereas maximum server size of Stepford County Railway is 75. Stepford County Railway typically has a larger player base than this one. Of course, I just started playing this one a little over a week ago myself, so maybe 2 weeks at this point. Now, if we look at my stats here, played it for basically 3 days, 4 hours and 27 minutes. Of course, not non-stop. It's kind of like what you'd see for Steam for your game time or play time. I mean, this session I've only been in here for 39 minutes. Started this session just before I, of course, recorded. A few minutes before I recorded. Or started the recording, rather. And then, of course, you have other stats here, like how many stations you stopped at. Tickets checked, that's for guarding. So basically, on guarding this, on this one, you don't have to be in the, obviously, the group like Stepford County Railway, where you have to rank up or whatever, and actually do trainings and stuff. This one, anybody can be a guard, whatever. And of course, you do control the doors, but also with the passengers inside, you can check their tickets, which is kind of cool. So obviously I've done a little bit of guarding, but not much. I do want to do more in the future, and maybe in one episode, I don't know if we'll do it or not. Probably what I'd do for that is maybe, because you can create private servers for free on this game as well. And so probably what I'd do if I do that is create, or do my private server, get my alternate account up on my laptop, drive on that one, like, or whatever, and then do the guarding on this one during the video. Which honestly I gotta do as well for Stepford County Railway at some point to showcase like the signaling and guarding and dispatching and stuff like that on there. Because I do want to do that at some point on there. You guys get like a Godzilla tail sort of thing. It's funny seeing them all walk. They're all in like unison. Now I do usually tend to wait until everybody gets on, and I'll wait like 5 seconds or so after I see the last person get on to make sure they get to their seat. Of course, I don't have to do that, but I do generally like to do that. Sometimes I forget, but
Welcome on board this regional service to Avonhill.
now one thing that's going to be really nice about this game, especially being able to set the time of day, is it's going to make it so much easier to make a daytime thumbnail for this game than it is for Stepford County Railway, which is obviously why the thumbnail that I have for that one is nighttime, although I really do need to update the thumbnail for that. I was almost thinking of doing it or updating it for each service, so like depending on which service I drive in that video, it will be a different thumbnail for that service. And it's just kind of more of a refresh on that as well. I've done 22 episodes. Was it 22 episodes? No, it's more than that at this point. I'm going to do the emergency brake. I'm going to pass the sign, but I want to make sure we stay inside the platform here. Let me see, how many episodes did I have for that series? 28 episodes. And I've used the same thumbnail for all 28 episodes, so I'd say it's about time for a refresh. Actually, one thing I should check too is when did I post my first episode on that one? Or that series.
Welcome on board this regional service.
It was quite a while ago, I know that much.
The next station
10 months ago.
this train terminates.
March 28th, 2024.
Personal belongings with you when leaving the train.
So almost 11 months ago is when I started that series. So yeah, closing in on a year, definitely about time for a refresh on the thumbnails. It's kind of crazy to think though, I mean, there was quite a while where I took a break in between videos. And then I come back into it, and I've been doing it non-stop again pretty much for about a year now. If not a bit more than that. Probably almost a year and a half at this point. Now I know I got a comment on Monday's Minecraft video asking what happened to my GeoGuessr series, and if you're watching this, of course I commented on your comment as well. Kind of got burned out from it, wasn't feeling it anymore, but I am planning at some point on returning to GeoGuessr. I know he mentioned that it's changed a bit, and yes, I did notice that. I've played it a little bit since I've last done videos. I'm probably not gonna do the speedrun Saturdays like I did before. What I'm probably gonna do for the GeoGuessr videos is basically just do GeoGuessr, basic GeoGuessr, I guess, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna do anything fancy. Maybe I'll do some battles in the future with that. I don't know. One thing I'm thinking I could probably do, because I know it's been, I think, almost 4 years now since I've done the states and Providence, or states, territories, and Canadian provinces. So I feel like I should revisit that series at some point as well. Revisit the U.S. states GeoGuessr series. Now, one difference in this with this game too is if I crash into the buffer, it just stops you. It doesn't do anything. So I do have the semi-fast or semi-fast route here, so we'll do that. It's 25 minutes. So we won't have nearly as many stops if we look at the route here. These first 3 stops we'll stop at, but this one we skip. Then we do Belmont Green. We skip this one. We skipped that one before. Stop there like we did before. I'm going to change cameras. Because one thing that's always funny is, here they come. Especially if you have like a 12-car train in your parked here. The amount of AI passengers that come down, it's insane. And of course, it takes a while for them to get all the way to the front of the train, too. Of course, since this is only a 3-car train, these doors are already open, too, so you don't have to wait for them to open. Yeah. Anyways, going back to this, we skipped that one, stop there, and skip those 2, and then stop at Millbridge, so. A few stations that we don't stop at this time. Now everybody's on, so everybody's going to be seated by the time this runs down. Still have to wait for that. Now I can click on that and wait for that, and that will disappear, but I usually leave it up. Can I drag that around? No, I can't. Okay. So off we go towards Millbridge. Gonna go full steam at least for just a moment to get up to speed. Usually when I'm playing this by myself offline, I will speed up to like 20 here. But in the videos, I'll try and stay basically at the speed limit. Now, like I said, sometimes some sessions this doesn't work if you click on people's names here. And no, I'm not sending them a friend request by clicking on them. In order to do that, I have to go into here and yeah. But like I said, sometimes if you in the settings down at the bottom, if that's unchecked, detailed presence, and someone's doing the route, it will just say driving. It won't say anything else. But generally, like I said, it will provide information like this. It will say whatever, or their destination, next station, what train they're driving, and stuff like that. I don't think it shows all the coach information. I think it just shows what they're driving. Like it'd be like class 805 or whatever. Or in this case, class 170. Whereas on the map here actually shows the information. And if you have all like the coach ones with the locomotives, that will actually show the number of every single coach on the map there. And then it'll say like 1X first class, 5X regular class or whatever, and 1X business class, if that's how they have it configured. Or like 3X first class and 5X coach or something like that. Now, of course, I usually have this game at set to daytime and usually clear. Sometimes I'll have it overcast, but generally I'll have it daytime and clear like this. There have been a few times where I've done like evening or whatever.
We will shortly be arriving
But-
at Union Street. Alight here for the University of
I like having it daytime.
St. George's campus. Please mind the gap between the train.
It's easier to see things. So this station doesn't have any car markers. Gonna still kind of look just in case, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. No. See, I don't think I've mentioned this in any of my previous videos, but on my Discord, once again, link is always in the description below. If you do join, don't expect much going on there. It's usually pretty dead. But anyways, I do once in a while post things. But anyways, I did recently do a new channel. Basically showing my previous video series or slash
Welcome on board this regional service.
playlists
Mill Bridge.
of all of the playlists that I have on my channel here with links to them, and I basically have the name of it. If it's a sub series of a video, I'll put underneath it like sub series of whatever. Like Speedrun Saturday, I have a sub-series of GeoGuessr. And I'll have the number of videos, like for that one it's 42. The dates, I'll have the first and last date of the videos released. So the first video was March 28th, 2020. Last video is June 25th, 2022. And then I have a link to the playlist on there. And I have, like I said, every single playlist
We will
on there.
shortly be arriving at
And I have it
Thornfield.
from the newest one up top. These are all previous ones, so not active playlists. So the newest one up top, which is the Super Mario Party Saturday playlist, which of course I only did 2 videos on. To the very first one, which is my Twitch live streams playlist. Although basically it's based on when the last video was uploaded, not the first video. And then of course I have a channel on there with a bot that will automatically post these videos when they go up. So you don't have to go to YouTube itself to see if the video has gone up. It will automatically, like I said, make a post as soon as it's able to on the video as it goes up. Sometimes it's like a couple minutes after, but there are times where it's like, because of course I'll have these set at 7, so usually you know then anyways. But sometimes it's like right as 7, it'll make a post on my Discord with the link and everything.
This regional service. Mill Bridge. The next station is
And I do have my schedule for my video series and everything on my Discord as well. But just a little Discord plug, I guess. Like I said, links always in the description below. And like I said, if anybody does join, don't have high expectations. I'll just say that. Like I said, it's usually pretty dead. I mean, I don't really have a ton of people on the Discord right now either. Like, there's maybe a dozen of us at most. But yeah, anyways. So after this next station, we do skip a station. As you can see, all these yellows that they have. They're not even double yellows, they're just all single yellows, so. I don't know if it can't do double yellows because or based on the way the signal is on this one, or not, but. I don't know. Yeah, we do have a red at the station for... Actually, wait, is there someone here? Yeah, there is someone here. Now it's green. Maybe it was for this guy coming in. Like I said, sometimes the signals don't make sense here, but... He's running without his lights on. You don't get penalized for that, which is kind of cool. He's driving the 142, which does get a lot of slack in this game, because those are your starter trains in this one. Although honestly, I like those trains. I love the way the doors are on those ones. They fold open instead of slide open like all the other trains. Well, not all the other trains. Of course, some trains, like the coach ones with the locomotives, they swing open like an actual door. Okay. Now on to Belmont Green. Skip Rotten. I think it's Roten. I don't know, I haven't really listened to the announcements much. I kind of have them turned down a little bit. Anyways, so we're at 53 minutes in the video. So 15 minutes. So yeah, it'll be like an hour 10-ish, I guess. Now, one thing that is kind of interesting about this game is with the passenger role, there's a couple options you can do. You can basically just either explore. There's either 2 or 3. You can do explore, or you can do like a challenge, which will basically spawn you at a station, and you have to try and get to another station. And if you make it to that station, you get money basically, which is kind of cool. But I noticed that if you just do explore, some stations are locked. I'm guessing it's locked until you get to them as a passenger, which is kind of interesting. So I think like Millbridge, I think I have that one locked. So when I do the passenger role to end the video, I won't be able to do, because usually like in Stepford County Railway, I'll go to do passenger to the station I terminated at and just kind of hang out there doing the outro. Whereas this one, I may not be able to do that, but that's fine. Yeah, this was the station that actually did the S marker at the beginning, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. This time it's actually doing it to this marker with this train, which is good. Gonna overshoot it just a little bit, but whatever. You can see the red from the brake lights back there if I turn that off. Yep, there it goes. So now our next station is Leeton. So we skip the next 2 stations.
Welcome on board this regional service to Mill Bridge.
Yeah, notice the first time I played this, it did start raining and I tried doing full speed on the train, and there was actually wheel slip too, so it does have that. So obviously, in that case, you'd need to either bring the throttle down or do the sand. I think usually, obviously, you do the throttle down first. If you're not able to get going from that, then you use the sand or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a professional train driver, engineer, conductor. Well, conductors I don't think usually drive a train. I think they're usually engineers. Well, I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure conductors do not drive. I think it's, like I said, engineers that drive a train. Although it could be different in certain areas as well. Like the UK, I don't know what they're called. I'll slow down too much too early. Anybody near Leeton? Doesn't look like it. There's only 2 people, me and one other person on this server. When I joined this one at first, there was like 5 people or 6 people in this server, and now it died, so basically it's just the other person that we had passed. But of course we have all these yellows coming in to Leeton. So down to 35 a bit too soon, but you know, it's fine. Now Leeton is kind of weird because it's like there's not many passengers at Leeton. There never is, which I don't know, like I said, it's kind of weird.
Trains to Ashton, Norrington, and Victoria Docks.
And it's not like they're hanging out in an area. I mean, there's actually some on the platforms, but yeah, it's always not many. Whereas like Avonhill, they're not on the platforms. There's all. They're in the terminal area, and then they walk down. In fact, is anybody going to be getting on? And the people who do get off, basically they'll get up from their seat, get to the door, and then they'll basically despawn at the door here. So you won't ever see them coming off. And of course, not all the doors open either. It's just the ones that are basically being used. Whereas in Stepford County Railway, all the doors open.
Calling at Fortis Green and Mill Bridge. The next station is Fortis Green.
Kind of like a subway train. See, I know Amtrak. It's been a while since I've ridden Amtrak. They, like if you're at, of course, it's mostly Boston that I've been to on Amtrak. So if you're getting on, let's say from North Station, which is the one I'd normally take. Basically, you could walk down the platform once the train's there and arrives. You have to kind of wait, and you skip this station. Actually, you skip. Yeah, this station stopped at the next one. But anyways, you have to wait in the concourse area or whatever, the station area, until the train gets there and is all set to be loaded or whatever. Or, yeah. And usually you can go to, like, the door for the car that you're going on to. Well, I think that's generally usually how it works anyways. I don't know. I usually don't ride the train very much. In fact, the last time I rode the train was 2-3 years ago at this point. Something like that. Next time I go to Boston, we're talking about taking the train down from Portland. Take the bus down to Portland and then take the train from there. Of course, I don't ride the train much because, well, at least here where I live, well, one, we don't have a train. So that's kind of a problem for one. Closest train station here is like an hour 20 away, on the other side of Augusta. So basically, and two, taking the bus to the train or just driving down to the train, and then taking the train to Boston from there takes just as long as taking the bus basically from here to Boston. And the bus is usually a bit cheaper, but so the train is more a novelty up here. And then it is a necessity. Now, of course, certain areas where the train does stop at, there may not be as much for bus routes. Now, it's kind of funny, though. In order to take the train up here from Boston, you have to go to North Station. If you take the bus to Boston from here, you end up in South Station. South Station basically is where the trains go to from, like, New York, Providence, wherever down southern part of the U.S. Well, not southern part of the U.S., but south of Boston. To come up into Maine here, you go to North Station. And if you want to continue on the train down, you have to go from North Station to South Station, unless, like I said, you take the bus to South Station and then you just go downstairs and then catch a train from there. It's a whole process. Of course, when I went to school down in Boston, I always took the bus. I mean, I took the train a couple of times, but mostly it was the bus. It was a 4.5 hour bus ride. Made basically 2 stops between here and Boston. On the way down, we'd stop in Augusta for like 5 minutes. Then we'd stop in Portland for like 10-15 minutes. And then we'd go straight to Boston from there. And then the bus as well, they had movies that they'd play. So the movie would get over basically just before we get into Portland, and then they'd do a new movie from Portland to Boston. Just before we get to South Station in Boston, the movie would just basically just about get over. So. Of course, I usually had my laptop with me, so I'd usually use that on the bus. But anyways, then of course from South Station I would take
We will shortly be arriving at Mill
the
Bridge.
red line to Park Street and then take the green line to the school I went to.
With me when leaving the train. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform edge.
More specifically the E branch, or the E train on the green line. So let's move this song down. We're gonna overshoot the sign, but that's fine. In fact, well, the song is about ending, so we're gonna return to menu. We're gonna do explore. So yeah, you could either do the challenge, like I said here, given random journey to complete, or you can do map, choose a station to spawn at. So yeah, that one's locked. So you can see all the stations I have locked over here. So I think what we're going to do is you know what? I can spawn up here in Avonhill, so we'll do that. Okay, so yeah, here's the kind of the main area of Avonhill, and then down to the platforms, like where we obviously stop at. But anyways, yeah, I do plan on doing more for this series. I can't do the wave here. Let me see something. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna try it. Oh, there's nobody here, so even if I try it, nope, doesn't work. Okay, thought I'd try it. But yeah, so anyways, I do plan on doing more videos for this series. What I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate every week between this game and Stepford County Railway. So next week, we're going to go back to Stepford County Railway, probably do some connect routes. And then the week back after, we'll come back to this game and showcase more of this. Do some other routes, some other trains. But anyways, that is just about going to do it for this video though, so hopefully you've all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a thumbs up. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye! I'm waving even though you can't see me.